Every one of us has experienced beautiful moments and positive emotions watching football, but not every football moment is actually beautiful. This is perhaps something you have never thought about, but some football moments are particularly ugly and quite difficult to watch. These moments were bitter and basically about revenge. Football might not be a combat sport, but sometimes it's really not about the goals or skills, but about getting back at an opponent. Moving on, these are the most bitter and revenge moments in football. So we start out with a United player trying to bully Angel Di Maria, but ends up getting the best out of the Argentine. We will go on in a bit, but first, like and share this video. Also hit the bell button to avoid missing our other videos. Di Maria against Manchester United. Argentine and Benfica winger Angel Di Maria was once on the receiving end of an act of bullying from United's captain Ashley Young. This was in a Champions League match between PSG and Manchester United and was as bitter as a moment could get. The former PSG player and Ashley Young found themselves in a duel close to the throwing line. It was obvious none of them was going to have the ball. While Di Maria made efforts at keeping the ball in play, it appeared Young was basically about pushing the PSG star. Well, he succeeded in doing this. Although he had successfully bullied his opponent, he failed to get into Di Maria's head as the player was only down for a moment. The game continued like every other game, and Di Maria came back not just for Young, but the entire United team. Did he push every United player one after the other? No, he did not. However, he hurt the entire team and fans too. In this match, Di Maria provided 2 assists and United went on to lose the game. These assists helped him get revenge, but his revenge did not seem bitter. Well, the same cannot be said about the moment Sergio Ramos and Diego Costa went head-to-head. Costa gets his pound of flesh. For several years in Spain, the El Clasico has been a match everyone looks forward to. However, it's not the only clash of the titans in Spain. The Madrid derby between Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid is also a major clash in Spain. In a league match on the 16th of August 2018, Real Madrid's Ramos once hit Diego Costa on the head while contesting for the ball. Of course, the former Madrid captain wanted to get the ball. However, it did not seem that was all he wanted. Apparently, he also wanted to intimidate the Atletico striker, but it did not seem like his plan worked. Just moments later, the 2 players had to contest for the ball again. This time, Costa was with the ball and Sergio Ramos had to get the ball off his leg. Of course, he succeeded in winning the ball. However, he ended up getting stepped on by the former Atletico striker who apparently simply got his pound of flesh. CR7 versus Diego Simeone. Speaking of getting one's pound of flesh, CR7 once single-handedly brought his team back into the Champions League after a disappointing first leg. But there was nothing bitter about this revenge. In the first leg of a round of 16 match between Juventus and Atletico Madrid in the 2019 Champions League, Juventus lost to Atletico by 2-0, and Diego Simeone, Atletico Madrid's coach, celebrated by holding his crotch in the face of Juve fans. He most likely thought it was all over and the old ladies could not get back from this seemingly huge loss. The second leg came and Atletico came into this match with a 2-goal advantage, and they most likely assumed there was no coming back for Juventus. Well, you know the story. They were wrong. As one man, CR7 got his team back into the game and went on to score a 3rd goal which helped his team qualify for the quarterfinal. He did not do the SIU. Strange, right? So what did he do? Well, he celebrated just like Diego Simeone did in the previous match. Guess what? He held his crotch in mockery of Simeone. Don't mess with me. It's often said that revenge is a dish best served cold, but not everyone agrees with this, and it appears Conte is one of those that enjoy serving revenge steaming hot, and he did this in a match between Chelsea and Tottenham in 2019. The former Chelsea player had just received a pass, and before he had done anything with the ball, Danny Rose shoved him off the ball with a dirty challenge. The Frenchman could have let things slide. However, he decided to go for the ball at the same moment, so he launched a rough challenge on the Tottenham left back. He failed to win the ball but succeeded in getting Danny Rose to scream out in pain. In the end, he got a yellow card, but Rose knew Conte was not one to be messed with. In your face. Conte's revenge on Danny Rose was quite immediate and seemed bitter too. Well, unlike Conte's, Haaland's revenge was not bitter. However, he too didn't have to wait for a long time before he got his pound of flesh. The former Borussia Dortmund striker was up against Bono in the Champions League. It was a penalty and was basically Bono's world against Haaland's. Haaland played the penalty and simply hit the ball to the bottom left corner. It was not exactly a bad penalty. However, Bono saw it coming and simply went in the right direction, ultimately saving the penalty. Even the rebound could not get past him. In the end, he celebrated in Haaland's face like they had a misunderstanding before the match. Well, it seemed all over for Holland, at least with the penalty kick, but he was actually still very much in the game. So, was there a second penalty? Did he score it? No, there was no second penalty. The fact is, Bono had just won the battle and not the war, as the referee ordered that Holland retook the penalty. No one saw this coming, but the keeper was off his line and moved before the ball. Holland knew the keeper would move to the same position, so did he hit it to another? No, he actually picked the very same spot and hit the ball. Just like the first penalty, the keeper followed it but couldn't stop it. Holland was perhaps going to simply walk away after scoring, but he didn't. He celebrated in Bono's face in very much the same way as Bono celebrated in his face. Mata versus Walker. There was no bad blood between Holland and Bono, but it seemed like all was not well between Mata and Walker. In a match between Chelsea and Tottenham, there was a bit of a duel between Walker and Mata. The ball was about going out of play and Mata was looking to keep it in play. Well, Walker had something else on his mind. So as soon as Mata stopped the ball just before throwing, Walker came on the scene and kicked it hard out of play. For a moment, one would think he wanted to hurt the Spaniard. It seemed all over, but this was just the first phase of their battle. Moments later, the ball was in the same position and Mata and Walker were at it again. This time, Walker got to the ball first and was looking to shield Mata off it. Well, the Spaniard was subtle and stole the ball, leaving Walker to lick his wounds on the floor. He did not just steal the ball, he went on to provide an assist and got his perfect payback. A revenge for Benzema. Walker got served for deciding to be unnecessarily rough. Maybe Milner could have learned a lesson or two from this. However, he felt being rough was the way forward. So, in a Champions League match between Madrid and Liverpool, he came in with a dirty tackle on Benzema just at the beginning of the match. He literally stepped on the Frenchman's left leg and could have actually sent him out of the match so early in the game. The game continued and moments later, Milner had the ball passed to him. He simply could have run towards it and controlled, but Casemiro closed in on him and forcefully hit the ball off his path. He did not just get the ball, he also got the player's leg, and this brought about a bad reaction from Liverpool players. But the fact is, Milner was simply paid back in his own coin. Ibrahimovic against Tyrone Mings. Casemiro perhaps needed to show some form of dominance when he came in with a rough tackle on Milner. However, there was really no need for Ibrahimovic to be rough in a match between Manchester United and Tottenham. But in his usual way of life, he was looking to bully a player. He could have chosen Son or someone not so tough, but guess who he chose? He chose Tyrone Mings. Well, that was not so smart, as Tyrone actually had the body size to match him in a show of force. Zlatan began by converting the match to a wrestling match. He threw Tyrone off his feet. Later in the match, Tyrone responded by stepping on the Swede's face. Although this did not seem intentional, it got the Swede in a bad place. It seemed all over. However, moments later, while contesting for a header, the Swede elbowed Tyrone. We might not be able to tell if he did this on purpose. However, it really looked like very bitter revenge. Thomas Muller taekwondo kicking Nicolas Tagliafico. Ibra was lucky he didn't get sent off. However, Muller was not so lucky as the referee gave him a red card for a dirty challenge on Tagliafico. An Ajax player had just fouled a Bayern player, and Muller perhaps felt he needed to get back at Ajax. He could have decided to simply score a goal to shut his opponents up, but that was not what he did. He came in with an ugly challenge on an Ajax player, got his pound of flesh, and was sent off. Zidane headbutts Materazzi. So we saved the best for the last, and it doesn't get dirtier. The moment Zidane headbutted Materazzi is a perfect example of a bitter revenge moment. It doesn't get worse than this. The Frenchman responded to Materazzi saying he preferred his sister to his shirt by headbutting the Italian. Zidane might have ended his career on a bad note because of this, but Materazzi probably learned to never talk trash about people's siblings. Thanks for going all the way. Which of these revenge moments do you consider the most bitter? Please let us know in the comment section below. Before moving on, please subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this. And we draw the curtains here.